Welcome YouTubers, Jim Impressions here. Today, what are we going to do? We are going to work on the 2020 Impala. I've noticed my fuel economy going down quite a bit. 18.5 average is just horrible. My fuel average used to be 23.8 consistently. I mean, I've only had this car for a couple of months, but I had a 2018 with the same exact motor in it, and I was getting around 24 on that one as well. And then recently, look at that, at 370 miles ago, I started noticing it seemed like my gas gauge was starting to go down quicker, and just like looking at the average, it just looked to me like I was getting less fuel economy. And yeah, well, I was right. When I started tracking at 370 miles ago, and I do a little highway, I do a lot of 40, 50 mile an hour stuff where I live. It went down to 18.5 for my average. Every once in a while on a stop sign, or like right here sitting in my driveway, I feel a slight and occasional hesitation, engine hesitation. Nothing to be, oh my gosh, I got to pull over and call AAA, but yet, you know, you want your car to run smoothly. And I think I need the Purge valve solenoid replaced in this vehicle, and probably a throttle body cleaning in order to get this thing back to getting some regular fuel economy. So I'm going to do that and see if it makes a difference. I'm putting the GM genuine parts on there. Purge valve is one thing that I don't mess with aftermarket stuff, the cheap China. This is made in the Czech Republic, and it's a Bosch item. So anyway, I got my Q-tips. I like to use soft stuff for the throttle body, and I'll be using get the one down here, a microfiber towel, because they're nice and soft, and they don't provide any lint. They don't give you any lint. The first thing that I'm going to do is disconnect the negative battery terminal on this, because I don't want to mess up the ECUs. What it's got learned. Just make sure that doesn't connect itself there. This is a T30 bit to get your cover off, and then take your cap off in order to get your cover off. It's got little rubber grommets on it underneath there, and then I'm going to put the cap back on so I don't accidentally drop anything down there. And then I'll go get a screwdriver and I'm going to take off both ends of this. To get it out of the way. Okay, let's undo the screws on the air box here. Yeah, it is 103 degrees out in Texas today, where I'm at. I should be inside the air-conditioned house, but it is so boring in there. One more screw right back here in the back. Love this little light, this little Astro light here. I've linked that in my description a few times in a few other videos. I'm going to put some gloves on. You want to spend a little bit less time scrubbing your hands afterwards. That one's still stuck. Now the back one's still stuck. There we go. I got a wire in there still. I sure do. Okay, let me get a trim tool. Take my Lyle trim tool here and pop that little Christmas tree out right there, so I can remove this completely out of the way. This Purge solenoid, GM Purge solenoid, and it sits right back there behind behind the throttle body area. And so, look how dirty that is. And since I've only had this car a little while, a couple months, and hadn't cleaned that throttle body yet, I thought, what a perfect time to knock that out. And with the throttle body removed, that actually gives me a little bit more space to work with. So here we go. I'm gonna try to adjust this camera. I hope you can see on the video here. I already used my little pry tool to pry up the red tab, and then you just push on that right there to release that. Put that out of the way over there. What can I do with it? Right there. Okay. And now we got the electrical connection off. So now I need to use a tin. I don't know if these bolts, they're probably all the same size, but I am gonna check them as they come out just to make sure. Same size. Same size. And same size. Yep. And look how easy that throttle body comes off. You know, you may as well take this thing off and bring it to the bench to clean it, because it's just so easy to take off. A matter of 1 minute, 2 minutes. Yeah. Unplug the connection and take the 4 bolts off. And let's take a look at this throttle body. Oh yeah, look at how dirty. Oh my gosh, look how dirty that is. Oh, that is nasty, nasty dirty. Well, there sure are a lot of different opinions out there on this butterfly valve. A lot of people say, hey, I pushed it open and I've never had a problem with it. And then other people say, hey, after I clean my throttle body, now I hear this clicking noise and my car runs like crap. Yeah, you can damage this by opening it too abruptly. Unlike the older cars that have a mechanical valve, it's just highly sensitive nowadays in these modern electronic vehicles. And there's a stepper motor in here and a plastic gear drive, and pushing against it manually can strip it. I'm not saying you will strip it, but it can. Or you can corrupt the throttle body position sensor calibration, and the car knows where it left it off and where it's supposed to be and that type of thing. So we're going to also talk about, at the end of the video, resetting. There's an important reset procedure at the end of it to do, and we'll go through that procedure as well. But here's what I do. I clean this really good, and yes, I do push a little bit on this butterfly valve in order to get into the cracks, but I am pushing gently, slowly, just to move it out of the way to get into those corners. And yeah, I'm going to use those words, and I've never had a problem doing that. Well, I haven't. So yeah, there's different ways of doing this. You can, if you have a second person, you can actually clean this on the car and have somebody pushing down the gas pedal, and you've got to take a few other steps to do that as well. But I don't do that because then I can't clean the back side of this. You can get a lot of it, but you just can't get it quite clean as you can if you take it off of the car. So I don't use the gas pedal trick when I do it. To each their own, I know. And as long as I'm real gentle with it, and just, I use Q-tips to get in there. Spraying a little bit here. Again, a lot of people don't spray right on it. A lot of people want to, spray it on the rag and then use the rag. I will spray right on it when it's on the bench. I'm just going to start off by getting this area up here, letting some of that other soak a little bit. there's some electronics up here that you don't want. You see that little, where the butterfly valve has the rod that goes inside that holds it, goes in internally there. There's a tiny little crack right there. I don't know if you can see it on camera. You don't want to hold it like this and spray it and have everything drip off, but you know, I will hold it this way and spray it. I just don't want to get anything down in there. All right, this is nasty. I have to admit, this I am pretty sure that this 2020 Chevrolet has probably never had the throttle body cleaned on it. And after this buildup gets so high like this, your car sure can run rough and get bad gas mileage. I sure like cleaning these. I mean, I don't like doing it, I just like having them cleaned. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I will get as much of that as I can there. I'm going to start using the Q-tip to get some of this out. You don't want to use anything too harsh on this because you don't want to rub the thin coat of protection film, the thin coat, protective coat that they put on these. So yeah, just be careful and clean it up. Yeah, I'm going to hold it. Yeah, I'm just going to put it on. You know what I'm going to do is take a cap and put some in there so I don't have to spray it this direction. The electronics are down in there. A little bit won't hurt because it dries so quick, but you don't take any chances either. First, I just clean all of what I can reach, what I can see, before even touching the butterfly valve. Okay. Okay, I'll clean on the butterfly valve. But I mean, as far as the groove, like in these little corners right here, I'll clean what I can see first on the body and the butterfly valve on both sides before I touch the butterfly valve to, you know, just move it aside a little bit just to get those little corners. Yeah, I don't know if you can see on camera what I'm seeing, but wow, there is a lot of carb. I know I've seen worse in videos. I've never had worse on a car that I've owned because, you know, I don't go, you know, 200,000 miles without cleaning the throttle body on it until the car's shaking all over the place, you know. My camera shut off, and all of a sudden I looked at it, my screen was dark. So in case I didn't get some of this cleaning on the camera, I'll just kind of explain what I did. I took all these Q-tips and went down into the edges really good. Got the corners, I slowly moved this to get the lip of the actual butterfly. Slowly, let it slowly drop back down again. Don't snap it or push it hard or anything. You don't want to mess up anything inside there in the gears. You don't want to mess up that actuator motor. It's got a sensitive electronic stepper motor in there and a plastic gear drive. And pushing it manually too hard, it could mess it up. Now I know some people will say, hey, I've been doing that for years and never had a problem. Well, good for you. I'm not taking any chances. Yeah, so on these especially. You've heard horror stories. If you haven't, I have. People saying, hey, I cleaned my throttle body and now I hear a clicking noise and my engine is running like crap. Well, now you can get to go down and buy a new throttle body. And I don't want to do that right now. So anyway, I don't know what I might have missed on camera, but I'm getting ready to go ahead and put on this solenoid valve here. So that's done. And it looks like a 10 bolt for the solenoid valve that sits right back here. And see, with the throttle body off, that throttle body off, it is a lot easier to get to. So here is the bolt for that. I'm going to set it aside over there. It needs pushed down in order to take that electrical connector off. And there's the old one. That easy to come out. It's also a Bosch. Let's compare the two a little bit. Bosch. This one's made in Mexico. All right, so yeah, it looks the same. Yeah, it looks the same. I'm just going to put a dab of Vaseline on this O-ring here. Okay, I'm going to plug the electrical connection in first. Hear that nice click. Then I will put it in position to put the hose on next. Got a nice click there. I will run it in with this. So the torque specifications on that bolt is 89 inch-pounds. I use this small one for my inch-pounds. I've got a couple larger torque wrenches, but inch-pounds I need to use this one. This Tecton's really nice, actually. So I go to, let's run that up to 80. It's got inch-pounds and it's got the Newton meters for those folks across the pond. Okay, need to go to 89. Okay, there's 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 89 inch-pounds. I was just in here not long ago doing a transmission flush, and I really love that these have a dipstick in them. I have a video on my transmission flush if you'd like to watch that. I flushed it 4 times to get 95% of the old transmission fluid out of it. Let me go ahead and grab the nice and clean throttle body. All right, look how clean that throttle body is. Can you tell on camera how nice and clean that is? And the difference, what it looked like before? Night and day, huh? Night and day difference. It sure is nice having a clean throttle body. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the bolts in. You really gotta watch that gasket. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all 4 of my bolts on first. Start them anyway. Just so I can have them started by hand and in the right holes. And then I can take a flashlight and look back there and make sure that my gasket didn't come out as I'm pressing that up against that. I go ahead and run a couple of those in just flush. Just there we go. Nice. These are also 89 inch-pounds. I'm going to go top, crisscross it, may as well go ahead and put on the electrical connector, snap and click. Give it a tug, and it looks like everything's on good there. Put that one on there. Just gonna make sure I didn't drop anything in there. Put that one on there. There we go. Trying this GoPro chest adapter. I don't know how good it's working, but at least it allows me to move around and kind of see what's in front of me without moving the tripod a million times. On a project like this where I'm back and forth to the bench a lot, and tighten up the two clamps here. Ooh, I've got some dirt there. See me mumbling to myself. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I've got everything on, and I've got one bolt left. I hate that feeling. It's like, what? Why do I have a bolt left here? I got everything on, except for that mass airflow sensor, those two little screws. And then I remembered, oh yeah, that's the bolt for the old purge valve solenoid. This Christmas tree gets snapped right down in there. If you can see that hole or not, right there. A little hole for the Christmas tree there. Okay, and then the connector. Well, sorry, all that GoPro chest adapter, I've had it pushed all the way up, but it just wasn't pointed up enough, so I won't be able to use that. But I'm just pushing the connector on, pushing the tab on so that it's connected here. That's it, other than doing an idle relearn process. In this particular car, I know a lot of cars are different, and some vehicles will learn instantly, automatically, without doing anything. With these Chevy Impalas, the ECM might temporarily idle high because it's still compensating for the airflow restriction of the old settings, the old situation that it had with the carbon in there. And so what I want to do is force this Impala to relearn its clean throttle position automatically. And what I'm afraid of is the ECU getting stuck. I've had this, I had the battery amperage get stuck in here before, and if you do it this way, then you don't risk it getting stuck. If you skip it, the ECU may not understand the new airflow automatically. It might. Don't get me wrong, those of you who have done this without doing this step might comment saying, hey, I've done it without doing this and never had a problem. That's great. I'm just not going to take any chances because it's real easy to do this, and I'll show you when we get in the vehicle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and reconnect the battery. Nice and snug. We're going to turn the ignition on for 10 seconds, and then we're going to turn it off for 10 seconds. So I don't have my foot on the brake because I don't want to start the vehicle, but I'm just going to push the ignition on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to turn it off. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Off for 10 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more time. Turn the ignition on for 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and off. Okay, and now that we've done that 3 times, we start the engine, and we do not press the gas pedal, and we leave it running for 5 full minutes. So it is 7:56 right now, so we'll let that run for 5 minutes. 1 more minute and we're done with this project. I just need to put the cover back on it. Everything looks good. Running nice and smooth. Wow, yeah, it's running nice and smooth. It had a little bit of shakiness to it. That throttle body, boy, it sure is important. Well, I can tell already I wasn't getting this. Look at this, 26.4. I've only gone 2 miles, but I can tell already that my fuel economy is way better than it was. It's running a lot more smooth now. What a difference. I love it. I'm so glad I did that repair. That'll save money on fuel. And I'm a happy camper now. And here we are at 31.7 and climbing. I've been on the highway for about 4 miles, I think, now. And I am noticing that things are back to normal again. So replacing that purge valve solenoid, and cleaning the throttle body, and probably cleaning the map sensor and the map sensors, all of that together has increased my gas mileage a lot. I mean, I was getting horrible gas mileage for this car, and this is a V6. So, you know, I'm used to getting 32 on the highway with this V6, and I'm happy with that. But, yeah, I was only getting like 24-ish on the highway. So now I am back to what I'm used to getting. Wonderful. Mission accomplished. I'm very happy that that made a big difference in this vehicle. Well, thanks for joining me on cleaning your throttle body in your Impala. This applies to many other vehicles. Please like and subscribe if you got anything at all out of this video, and thank you for spending time with Jim Impressions. Have a good day.